Hello. Hi, Clifford. Hi, Mother. Hello. Nigel. Oh, Bob Fleming. Oh, dear. Sorry. Not feeling very well. Waiting for a COVID test. Fairly sure it's just a cold, though. So, yes, welcome from the isolation bunker that is Metal Methodist. Oh, dear. Still having added more music, I'm trying to find... the bits that we need. Oh, dear. I know they're there. Bear with me. Bear with. I didn't delete it, did I? No, I didn't delete it. No, I know I didn't. No, I didn't, because it's there. Hello, good evening. You are welcome. Whoever you are, wherever you are. And I still played the wrong thing. Hello, good evening. You are welcome here, whoever you are, or wherever you are.
As moon rises, the sun slips sight. Begins the ritual of this night. For those convinced their path is right. Gathered from north, south, east and west, yet called at another's behest, those treading the path that is left. From near and far, come as you are to this place and embrace this space as darker hue embraces you.
Alright, Hugh. Alright, it's
Water,
going well into
spirit,
it. Not really.
Earth and fire, confessing the sins of empire, we come with our wounds and desire. Sensing that we are not alone, drawn to the flame that guides us home, for here, you, me, and yet to be. Importance and signs of these times, for the sake of all those maligned, is yet the home of the divine.
Try turn for isolating COVID tests. Yeah. Moo-ha-ha home test kit. Hello, Clifford. Hello, Christian. Hello, Tim. Hello. Hello, Bob Fleming. Yes. Hello, Joyce, and all those by the sea. Hey, hi, Peter. Hope you're all right. Hello, Mum. Hello, Gisela. Hello, Rachel. And hello, Nigel. And hello to anybody else watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Yeah, some new music the last couple of nights, and a chance to hear some of that again today as we share together this evening. And apologies for not being top form. Not that you can probably tell, because I am, to be fair, never firing on all cylinders. Backfiring, yes, but yeah, hey ho. Clifford, it's awesome to have you again with us. Hello, Wendy. So, for those who perhaps joined us for the first time for the Sunday service last night, welcome to Metal Compline, which is basically a daily rhythm of evening stroke night prayer, depending on what time you go to bed, but a chance just to reflect on the day, to share the good, the bad, the ugly, the hopeful together, to just receive the gift of music, and to just support each other and to do all of that in the presence of God. Question. I hope there is something from today, as you look back upon it, that has lifted your spirits, made your soul sing, given you a sense of hope, reconnected you with stuff that's important and life-giving to you, and to who you are in God, through conversation, through your daily exercise, walk, creation, stuff you've read, stuff you've watched, and to encourage each other. I'd love if you fancied sharing just one thing from today, even if there's been stuff that's been rubbish as well, just one thing from today that perhaps you're willing to share in a comment on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, for something you want to be thankful for today, and to be thankful for it in the style of a Viking, because it's more metal. And to say it in Norse, because that is also more metal. So to say not one, but 1,000 thank yous. Thank you so very, very much. What today, people, has made you say, Kusanta! So yeah. Rune. Aha! Genuine Cheese Attack all the way from Norway. Rune, bless you, my friend. Awesome to have you here. And I'm just going to take a moment to commit the sin of coveting your brother in Christ's beard. Wow. Awesome, dude. Nice. Good to have you here. And Cheese Attack for you being here all the way from Norway. So all the Cheese Attacks that we got today. So from Nigel, for the way bright sun was on the snow today and it was beautiful. Yeah. And there's someone who, appreciates the sun, even if it's not hot, just that bit of sun. Choose and tack for sun. And from Joyce, choose and tack for more good telephone conversations. And bless you for continuing that ministry, Joyce. And I pray that it's a two-way ministry. And I know you are being, ministering to others. And I pray that it's a two-way thing. And bless you for doing it. Cheese and tack from Meta. A good walk, fantastic in the sun, but found fields and country roads flooded. Ooh, okay. As we sort of here in the UK get the tail end, I guess, of Storm Christoph French, is it? Yes. Anyway, cheese and tack. As I am waiting for a COVID test. So better not go places. I don't think it is, but just to be on the safe side in case it is. So choose and tack for lovely people what came with care packages and left them at a very safe distance. You know who you are. Hello, Dave. My wife now. So for Tim, choose and tack for a day off. Brilliant. Spent on the sofa with a toddler. Oh, wow, reading stories and watching Disney. Yeah, cool. That's what days off are made for, isn't it? That's really cool. These are the ones. Yes, some lyrics that I think as we give our choose and tack, as we offer what we're thankful for today. Maybe not one, but 1,000 things, but at least one just to look back at whatever's been our experience of this day. Some words from the amazing Witch Hazel. Behold the Witch Hazel scarf. And the song Barrow Hill. If you haven't heard of Witch Hazel, I encourage you to go to witchhazel.bandcamp.com and find out more. But these words: fresh air is greeting me as I am feeling weak, giving me strength to carry on. Wind brings me a lease of life. Rain is a sacrifice. I found a place where I belong. And as we try and support each other through these times in faith and just music and life's experience, that this might be a place where we feel we belong as well. Choose and tack because Clifford has been indoctrinated into the wily, witchy ways of Witch Hazel. That's what Hazel, yes. Played the new album 3 times in a row, yes. Oh, that's awesome. And I am yet to find somebody who has spun some Witch Hazel and gone, well, that's just utter pants. So that's awesome. Fantastic, Clifford. Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. Yes, we've clarified which from Clifford, and thank you, Wayne. It was that, Hazel. Yes. Hello, Wayne. But today, perhaps there's been stuff that's not great, either in terms of how we are, in terms of stuff that we've experienced, things said, unsaid, done, not done, hurt, received, and maybe hurt caused, regret, things that we want to turn away from and turn back to God in relation to, or stuff that just we're carrying for ourselves, for those whom we love, or for the world that is heavy, and not in a cool heavy metal way, but just a bit much. And so a chance, a space, even if it's just for this night, to lay down and let go of some of those things. And as we do, these words from Narnia, Swedish band. In silence, I wonder, from where is my aid to come? Gazing out into the sky, through deserts, I wander. From where is water to flow? Has the river run dry? And so if any of those words connect with some element of how we felt maybe at a part of today, despite good stuff, then we can share in this with each other and above all with God.
the principalities and will to power, the worms from within my own darkest hour. I confess all the regrets and the regrets, the burdens and fears, the lament and the tears. I lay them down.
And as we do, God says in Jesus, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, even if you don't like Iron Maiden, and I will give you rest." And that rest and peace be yours this night. And a reading from the Metal Bible. Find out more, get yours at www.metalbibleinternational.com, as it now says on the bottom of your screens. From Galatians chapter 1. "For I want you to know, brothers and sisters, or blisters and others, that the gospel that was proclaimed by me is not of human origin. For I did not receive it from a human source, nor was I taught it, but I received it through a revelation of Jesus Christ. You have heard, no doubt, of my earlier life in Judaism. I was violently persecuting the church of God and was trying to destroy it. I advanced in Judaism beyond many among my people of the same age, for I was far more zealous for the traditions of my ancestors. But when God, who had set me apart before I was born and called me through his grace, was pleased to reveal his Son to me, so that I might proclaim him among the Gentiles, I did not confer with any human being, nor did I go up to Jerusalem to those who were already apostles before me, but I went away at once into Arabia, and afterwards I returned to Damascus. Then after 3 years, I did go up to Jerusalem to visit Cephas and stayed with him 15 days. Peter. But I did not see any other apostle except James, the Lord's brother. In what I am writing to you before God, I do not lie. Then I went into the regions of Syria and Cilicia, and I was still unknown by sight to the churches of Judea that are in Christ. They only heard it said, the one who formerly was persecuting us is now proclaiming the faith he once tried to destroy, and they glorified God because of me. So just wonder if there's anything in that story that hits you, challenges you, excites you, rings bells with your own story, speaks to you in some way today. And that thing of testimony, of testifying, of pointing to, as did John the Baptist, pointing to the one who was coming to Jesus, and Paul and the other apostles going out with messages of good news, literally being angels, people who carry messages of good news to various people in various places, but each of them speaking from their own experience of Jesus. And yes, we recognize that Paul had a very dramatic conversion experience, encountering the risen Christ on the road to Damascus. And certainly, you know, with some events, Christian things that I've been to growing up, I've heard some amazingly powerful testimonies. And I just wonder whether sometimes that's not to take away from that and the power of God at work. Absolutely not. But sometimes if we don't feel we've had that sort of experience or haven't got that sort of story to tell, perhaps we feel in some way, well, have I actually met Jesus? Am I actually in a relationship with Jesus? I haven't had that sort of, wow, literal life turning around moment. Maybe I'm not quite getting it. Maybe there's more, and maybe there is more. But just to value your own story of God at work in your life, your story being part of God's story, and the opportunity and the call from God to share your story as part of God's story in your daily life through who you are, what you say, the conversations that you have, but speaking with integrity because it is your story. And that's what gives it, I think, that's the way in which Jesus communicates, because it's coming from you. And when you talk about stuff that you are passionate about, we light up. That energy and that passion is communicated. And so it is when we share our story of the Jesus and the good news of Jesus as we know him, as we know it and have experienced it. So I'm just wondering in what ways we are able to perhaps share some of our story in our daily lives. Do we do that? Is it easy? Is it hard? Is it petrifying and therefore we've not run away from it? Just are there times this week where we're not forcing it, but just naturally there might be times to talk about something, an element of your story within God's story, and therefore communicate God's story to somebody. It really doesn't have to involve using words. Yeah. So an invitation just to think about that and to perhaps comment if any of that made any sense or connected in any way, shape or form. And as we do, look, so I just want to, it was a really helpful comment from Nigel earlier on, who, for those who aren't able to join at a particular, when we're kind of doing this live, that things are available to watch afterwards. But you may find that some of the music is faded out or muted. That is because it hits the Facebook algorithm, even though I only play things that I have written permission to play. So if you do experience that and you're wanting to watch it later on in this particular piece of music you really wanted to hear, can I encourage you to perhaps watch on YouTube, Metal Methodist on YouTube, where there is a better algorithm that just simply goes, oh, this might be somebody else's, so we'll just make sure that they make money from it and we'll point you in that direction, but we won't do anything else. That's fine. It allows you to watch it. So I do apologize if that is the case on Facebook. It is a preemptive strike by Facebook, assuming that you haven't got permission and not really, as far as I can see, giving any way of challenging it. So in case anybody did miss it last night, the fantastic new song from the forthcoming album Myths from Detritus. This is the current single from the album Bright Black, as we share how we are able to share our story of God as part of God's story, and therefore we share God's story.
Just unquestioned answers, my silence unnerving, like unaccompanied dancers. I'll show you my treasure, you're blind to the value. You say that you hear me, and yet you possibility, oh, but you
So yeah, thank you. That's helpful. So yeah, if you are sorry you had problems as well, Joyce. So it depends which music I play. Sometimes it hits some songs. But Twitter, you can watch again on Twitter. So go live on Twitter and on YouTube. If you comment there, it shows up here as well. I can share your comments and respond to you from here. So it kind of doesn't matter where you watch, but if you want to watch afterwards, then please, if you're having issues with music, try Twitter at metal_Methodist or YouTube Metal Methodist. Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks for that, Nigel. And I'm not sure about showing this comment from Tim because it could. Whoops! I didn't actually need to do that. Whoops. Tim says it is proof that Facebook is marginally more evil than Google. #comparing tyrants. Well, we all know now that if it all suddenly goes quiet, then we. Hello? So there we go. Is there anything people want to share in terms of how we are able to share our story as part of God's story, or how perhaps somebody has done that to you and that's helped you on your faith journey, maybe even part of you coming to some sort of faith? I don't know. Be good to share and encourage each other. I don't know. I suppose I had a conversation with my window cleaner, but he's brought his mate with him. He's going, "Oh, this is it. That's a bloke I was telling you about. He's a vicar, and he's always really cheerful. I don't think I can be that cheerful." And I'm like, "No, it's just too much coffee." And then going, "What have I said that for? Why haven't I said?" Well, actually, I don't know, and I'm not someone who I would describe as naturally cheerful by any means. But just those opportunities to share and not to beat ourselves up when we think, "Oh, I wish I'd said that," whatever. But hi, Melissa. Are there ways in which we are able to share our story as part of God's story? And therefore, we reveal and share God's story, invite others to see their story as part of that story. And any of the ways in which we can say the word story more times than is strictly necessary in a sentence. And Tim is right. Yes, they will come for both of us now. Rage Against the Algorithm. Yes, the debut concept album is coming soon. But not available on Facebook. Are there things I want to pray for this evening? Just invite us to share any comments on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, anything you want to share for prayer, for prayer this evening. As I just remind people that the aforementioned proclaimed, testified to interview with Pantocrator tomorrow evening at 7 is not happening, as they are being interviewed by Sweden Rock magazine, the biggest selling metal press in the country. So rejoice, Blisters and others, for that interesting coverage. And bear with while we try and schedule a time with Carl Enrique from Pantocrator. But if everybody feels like praying at about 7 p.m. GMT tomorrow, as that interview takes place, that'd be awesome, just to encourage them that it will be a really positive experience, and that a message, again, another way in which, having heard about Paul testifying and sharing his experience of Jesus, that will be a platform and experience, a way for them as a band to share their experience of Jesus with people who may not have heard or have done or never thought that it was something they would need or want to hear, and may even be quite hostile. If we can just hold that in prayer tomorrow, that'd be awesome. Thanks, Tim. No. Such a great question. The two stories are just so intertwined. Yeah, maybe it's just finding ways to acknowledge that myself, and then you can share it. Yeah, that's helpful. Because I was thinking today, kind of speaking to somebody and say, wait, it's all right, I had a care package from somebody from church. Oh, right. Well, that is talking about not being great and thinking I ought to get a COVID test, needing to stay in therefore, but, being able to share that somebody being part of God's family was kind enough to offer me some support in that way. And maybe that in itself is a way to point to the love and care that we try and exercise, just as here with, as Joyce has shared, making some phone calls to people, or the organisations we try and support with our time as well as our money. And this is a form of sharing and testifying as well, and how we have those conversations naturally. Yeah. Nigel, I would love to think that was the case, but I suspect it's not. Is that Sweden Rock interviewing creator because they heard they were coming on here? I thought, wow, these lot are all right. No, I sadly don't think so. That would be mad. Dear. Yeah, but this way I can see what questions Sweden Rock asked me. Go, that's a brilliant question. I will ask that. And they've had a chance of getting the answers prepared. Yeah. All things work together for God. No, all things work together for the good in God. Yeah. So other things. Oh, sorry, Joe. I knew there was another comment. Sorry, Joyce. You had an email from the NHS today asking you to make an appointment for your vaccine, but it was a scam. Oh, thank you. Okay, Mom, if you're here still, that's what you've had as well, Mother. So well spotted. Yeah, let's just share that. Really, people, of all the times, of all the scams, why? Just keep on ringing me, telling me you're from Amazon and going to take £75 out of my account unless I ring you and then randomly give you my details, or ring me, you're telling me you're from Microsoft during the times when I never had any Microsoft products or whatever. Carry on with that. But dear God, thanks for sharing that, Joyce. Please do share other things this evening that we bring as and for prayer. And so, in anticipation of what will be, we only may as well listen to some more Pantocrator, right? Yeah, I think so. Shall we? Yeah, okay then. Cool. God, I ain't going to ever get tired of hearing this.
We are custodians of God. I am the people. We
So, Tim, can you tell us precisely which Kelly Clarkson song they're singing, and we'll all join in with a metal version in your other ear, right? Not that I know any Kelly Clarkson songs. Oh dear, excuse me. Thank you, Tim. No, Wayne. I often think I glimpse God's story in your life when you give yourself time. Yeah, so actually, maybe not how do we do it. The first step is to get ourselves in a place and give ourselves time where we can just notice. Yeah, that's really helpful. And it might be if you're lucky enough to perhaps walk somewhere, able to walk in a place that enables you to kind of have that connection with God, maybe by the sea, for example, or out in nature, or if you're a city person, whether it's the view of the city skyline, whatever it is, those where it's listening to music, whatever it is that just helps you enter that space where God already is. God is everywhere, but and then to notice and reflect. And again, as we do each night, looking back on the choosing tax, the thank you bits of the day, as well as the laying down, again, is another way of just hopefully noticing God and the kingdom, in our lives, in our stories, and in that of those whom we love, our communities, and indeed the world. Pardon me. Okay, so they're singing Breakaway. It goes well with We're the People. Same melody. Cool.
Breakaway, 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 breakaway. Don't break away, my breakaway.
Like that? Yeah. Let's all give Wayne a wave. Wayne a wave. 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 Yeah. Yeah, I thought Breakaway was a chocolate biscuit as well. Don't take away my breakaway. Yeah, so, okay, thank you for your comments and stuff around prayers for this evening. Just thanks, Matt. That's encouraging news. Amen. That your wife's auntie is off oxygen and might even be going home soon. And we just pray we give thanks for the care that she's received and pray for continued healing and wholeness, and that home will be possible. But again, pray for you and your wife and the rest of the family as you continue to journey through this together, but know that we are with you, as is God and that great cloud of witnesses. Thanks, Gisela. Yeah, I was just looking at the newspaper just before we started, and saw kind of riots kicking off. So yeah, we pray for the Netherlands for tensions there. Gosh. Yeah, I know in this country they're just talking about perhaps in kind of as they've done in Australia, requiring people flying into this country regardless of citizenship, which in some ways I'm very glad about. That you're going to be you're going to put yourself up in a hotel and be required to be there, as in stay in that room, not go, oh, this is a nice extension to my holiday, I should be down in the bar. No, you will stay in your room for quarantine. And again, people pushing here about when are we going back to schools? And I don't know. Have we learned through this that putting dates and things is not necessarily a good idea? I don't know, but for for the Netherlands particularly, but the potential for that, I guess, as the longer this goes on, and maybe the risk of things flaring up increases. And how do we prayerfully, gently walk with each other as perhaps we get our heads around we could be living with this forever in some way, like seasonal flu. Please God, we get to a point of it being more manageable, but this thing of this is just going to be a problem that we overcome and sort. I don't know. Please God, but I don't know. But for those who it's part of the stress because we think it's going to be right, get to this point and bang, it's all going to be absolutely as it was, like it never happened, apart from those millions of people who have died. And now showing that those in nursing, those in care, those in factories, those working as drivers and in security are more likely to if they contract coronavirus to have a higher chance of mortality because they are more exposed. As you were sharing the other night, Gisela, in terms of factory workers on conveyor belts, how do you socially distance doing that without redesigning the entire workflow of a multinational company's factory and the impact on bottom line and all of that. Just checking I didn't miss a comment. No. So thanks Nigel. Prayers for the young people from your youth group. Yeah, absolutely. Getting fed up of not being able to see, not being out or see their friends. And if that's your youth group, then there's probably lots of other young people like that as well. Yeah. I know he kind of go, oh, it's a screen generation, he said, connecting with you lot via a screen. But yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Especially if you're at that stage where you are growing into and discovering who you are, and the space to do that, the freedom to explore some of that. Yeah, gosh. So absolutely prayers for your members of your youth group and all those that Angela's working with, but for all children, young people, really. Yeah. All right, so you are younger than the Breakaway, are you, Tim? I'm glad to see a generation has broken away from Breakaway. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Peter. Breakaway was also the title. Yes, it was. Yes. Wow, that's awesome knowledge, sir. Wow, that's excellent. Yeah. Kudos for that. Totally. Joyce, thank you. Also, Breakaway is a great song from the Beach Boys from 1969. Have I ever heard that? I don't know. So, people, our nightly YouTube challenge is to go and listen to Breakaway by the Beach Boys. Excellent. Thanks, Rachel. Rising numbers of people who either believe that COVID is fake or believe anti-vax conspiracy theories. I was reading about this kind of a website here in the UK by some eminent people who are just on with it in terms of pointing out either what some people are saying that this is not real, and that issue gets addressed, so they might move on to a different one, but are just charting and highlighting when people have kind of contradicted themselves and run themselves around in a circle, and just exposing that through a website, which is great. And I think there are people in the government supporting that, including the chair of the Conservative Party or vice chair of the Conservative Party. So yeah. All right, so you were also born after the Beach Boys, Tim. I can imagine it's better than the Kelly Clarkson. Oh dear. So yeah, for all that we've mentioned tonight, and for all that is in our hearts, the stuff that perhaps we don't know how to put into words, where deep calls to deep, the Holy Spirit groans in us and for us. We offer all of this to God. To the one in whom all people and all creation have their being, may your kingdom come, your will be done, as above, so below. Sustain us for this day. Show us grace as we seek to show grace to those we feel have wronged us. Save us from the worst that is within us and within this world. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen. So, some words of encouragement from the High Priest of Judas Priest. See what I did there? Mr. Rob Halford. Is it 60 years, 50, 60 years as a band and in metal they've just celebrated? Wow. And one day, Mr. Kevin Dobson, my partner in crime in the Main Street Preachers, is coming on here, where we will debate, in my view, the point at which Judas Priest got better and became more metal, and the point at which for Kevin they became an absolute farce because they became metal. Yeah, so that'll be an interesting one. Lots of controversy, and we'll weigh in together on that one. But these words, as we just... I know last night in the service we shared the words from the song Revolution from Pantocrator. And so these are words from a different song called Revolution by Judas Priest. And whether it's in the face of, people thinking this is not real, or perhaps the restrictions and stuff, no matter how tough they are too much, or what we're carrying in our own lives on behalf of others out of concern, and indeed the world is much, and we're feeling a bit worn down by it. We stand together with fists in the air with Mr. Halford. If you think I'd back down or admit defeat, brace for the aftershock. Driven to the limit, take it to the streets, give it everything you've got. Time to come together. Revolution. Living on forever. Revolution. Get ready for the evolution. Here comes the revolution.
May the peace of the All-Parent be ours this night, and with all people and all creation in the time that is to come.
So, right, okay. So, breakaways haven't existed if you are a millennial. Is that what you're saying? And for those who are not millennials, not only were there breakaways, there was a marathon, which was Tim, yes, is indeed what would now be called a Snickers. So, question, in other places, was Snickers the American name that we then adopted? And was it called Marathon in Britain because it sounds like knickers? And that's why they've only called it Snickers later on. What's it called in Europe? You know, the sort of made by Mars chocolate caramel nut bar thing. I don't know. Controversial. And so, Tim, you found a petition. Well, let me find that again. So you found a petition. You found. Hi, Rita. Hello, Anna. Hello again, Rune. So you've found a petition, change.org, get on there, people, to bring back the breakaway. See, I'd heard about that campaign, but you see, I'm just a bit concerned that as that petition grows, will it actually get it into Parliament? Because the danger of there being like a splinter group or a breakaway faction about breakaways and the whole movement disintegrating is like a wafer covered in chocolate is quite high, I think. So yes, no, you're right. Yes. Marathon is now Snickers, but when it was a marathon, it was twice as big. And you know what I saw in the shop the other day? There's something like, I think it's like for New Year and everyone like on a diet or something. Like Snickers, it's like 100 calories. It's not that big. No. If you're going to have one, right? Have one. Yeah, no, fair point, Tim. In terms of if we're going to sign petitions and get, righteously indignated about stuff and campaign for social justice, maybe not reverting from Snickers back to marathons or bringing back the breakaway. Other social justice causes are indeed available. A very good example of which is the Methodist relief and development charity, All We Can. Yeah, no, I think you're right, Rachel. All chocolate bars are bigger than the 80s. Yep. Speaking of which, I think it's finally out. It's on Amazon, I do believe, to rent. Bill and Ted's, does it Face the Music? The new Bill and Ted movie. I might wrap myself in a duvet with a hot water bottle and watch that this evening. That might be my thing. Just an 80s flashback there. But yeah, I did rewatch Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey recently. I remember seeing them in the cinema thinking they were absolutely brilliant. Watched them again and kind of went, whereas, I don't know, it just hasn't quite aged as well as like Wayne's World, which is still more documentary than film to me. But there we go. Speaking of which, if you want Tim or Matt to provide input into a community group event, coffee morning, to give you talk about the way coronavirus is impacting in different countries around the world, some of the perhaps more disadvantaged countries and in refugee camps, then if you book them, they will come. Go to allwecan.org.uk and find out more. Book a speaker, preferably one that goes to 11. Oh yes, Wayne's World. Whose world? Thanks, Wayne. Thanks, Garth. Yeah. So notices there is no Pantocrator interview tomorrow. It will be rearranged, but I do invite us to pray for Pantocrator in their interview tomorrow with Sweden Rock Magazine. And also Friday, Jeanette Larson from Metal House Ministries, also in Sweden. Metal House One Ministries in Sweden is joining us. Yeah, until tomorrow, thank you for sharing in faith and fellowship and laughs and music together. And again, as we've identified, if you're trying to watch later and you've made it to this bit and you're going, but I can't hear any music, please do watch the same stream back afterwards on Twitter or YouTube, and you'll be able to hear it all. It's a Facebook algorithm thing. We do have permission to play the music here, but Facebook's algorithm, the computer says no. So YouTube, Metal Methodist, Twitter, Metal_Methodist. Yes. Sorry, what was that? Speaking of which, because Wayne's World reminded you of me and Matt, I'm happy to be gaffed. Yeah, it was more the Wayne's World. If you book them, they will come. And we were talking about that the other night. Not because I think either of you particularly look like Wayne or Garth. Yeah. Faith, fellowship, and fun, and fat tunes. Well, I think in honor of Rune being here from Norway, just before we go, I should just play something by a Norwegian band, which will be probably one of the ones that the algorithm goes, no! So if you're trying to listen to this afterwards, you might need to go and get it on Twitter or Facebook. Yeah, this one, which, so this band Frost Hardier, kind of deal with issues, social issues, our impact upon planet, some of the stuff that we perhaps allow companies and governments to do in our name, or just by not challenging, allowed to be done. Thinking particularly, and in this country, in our government, and weapons being sold to the Saudi regime to then be dropped on Yemen. Clifford, you are absolutely right. Still crazy. And the band Strange Fruit, which always made me think of that song by Cream. That was Strange Brew, wasn't it? Strange Brew. Was that Strange Fruit? Strange Brew? Anyway, the band in that film is called, Bill Nighy. Is it from a Food Empire or from the Boy from the Black Stuff? He's in Harry Potter. He's in Mr. Turner. He's in Lowry. Can't remember his name. But anyway, that fantastic actor. Yeah. Awesome film. Yeah. Oh, that might be tomorrow night then. Thanks, Clifford. I've forgotten about that. Oh, nice. So we have done the notices. And so Blisters and Others. There remains nothing else to say this evening than to wish you all a very good night. And on the day of the funeral for another one of, as Wayne reminded us, Mr. Wesley Saints, a saint on earth who is now a saint in glory. May the souls of the faithful and those whose faith is known to Christ alone rest in peace and rise in glory. And until we see each other again, on earth or in heaven, or even on earth when heaven comes to earth, Blisters and Others, let us sway. Sway for me, Metal Compline. Sway for me, Metal Compline.